We got Dwight Grant back here on the program. He's going to be taking on Alan Jouban at UFC 236 on April 13th. Dwight, how are you, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. It's good to catch up with you again. And of course, the last time we spoke was your last fight. You got that highlight reel finish in your last one over Carlo Pedersoli. Could that fight have gone any better? You don't get paid by the hour.
Yeah, I mean, that was a fight where I was trying to work a lot of different counters, and I tried to see what was happening. And the only way it could have gone better is if I'd have made it happen faster. That's the only way I can say it happened.
Yeah, and was there sort of a weight lifted off your shoulders? I know you kind of got, kind of wrongfully done in the fight before that against Zach Otto. I think a lot of people felt like you won that fight. You never want to have two straight losses. Did it feel good to not only get the finish, but just, get on the winning track?
Well, the thing about it was, I didn't really go in there with that concern. It was more that, I just wanted to finish the guy like I usually do. But I was working on things to make sure that whatever happened last time didn't happen again. And I thought that fighting really soon afterwards would make me get some kind of satisfaction. But then after I finished the fight, I was like, man, I want to fight again. So I'm just happy to have another fight so soon.
Before we talk about the matchup, I know your teammate Justin Willis unfortunately came up short last week at UFC Nashville. How's Justin doing? I'm sure you've talked to him since the fight.
Oh yeah, he's doing good. He had the fight. He went over all the things that he felt didn't go well in it, and he's working to make sure that it never happens again. That's the kind of guy he is.
What did you make of Curtis saying that one of his friends apparently went to the hotel to fight him? I don't know what happened there. That whole thing's a little weird.
Yeah, I don't know what this guy's talking about. This guy, he just seems like, I don't want to, be sitting talking a whole bunch of stuff about him, but he's has his own thing going on. I don't know what he thinks fighting is or how it works, but people talk to you before. No one's trying to make anybody feel any kind of real threats. No one's gonna hurt anybody or do anything to anybody before the fight. So there's no need to be worried about things like that. If you're a fighter, anybody approaches you, says anything to you, you can handle yourself. And even if the person did or didn't, you shouldn't be afraid. So that's just my thoughts about it.
So you're fighting Alan Jouban. I mean, how excited were you? This guy always brings a fight of the night. He's a pretty notable name in the UFC in terms of some of the matchups he's been in. You must have been pretty excited to get this matchup.
Oh yeah, I was excited because I remember my manager told me about the fight, and I was like, oh snap! I know this guy. I've heard his name before. So that was new for me, and I was like, yeah, I'm ready to fight right now. So that was cool.
Now, I talked to Alan, I was telling you this off air, and one of the cool things I found was that apparently he was offered a couple opponents, but he chose you because he felt like this was going to be an exciting fight for the fans. Do you take that as a compliment, or do you look at that as hey, you know what? He's trying to take money off my plate. Let's do this.
Oh, no, not at all. I look at it as, the guy knows. Well, first of all, at least I know that means that he's coming to fight, So that's good. That's the thing. And I think one ideal I had before I came into UFC was just that everybody I fought was going to try to take my head off and destroy me because this is the name of the game, And then I had my first fight, and I didn't feel that. So then, in the last one, I felt more of a threat from my opponent, him trying to actually get things done. So I had to make sure I changed my game plan to be able to handle all styles, It's not just going to be a bunch of bulls running at me. There's going to be a bunch of guys that don't want to actually engage. And I have to be able to make it exciting no matter what. So, hearing that makes me feel great. I'm glad to hear it.
Style-wise, we know what you guys are going to try and do, and that's take each other's heads off. I think that's why this fight is so awesome. Is there anything else you look at in his style in terms of the matchup itself?
No, not really. I know. See, the thing about it for me is no matter who I fight, they're going to try to take me down anyway. So, I fought, plenty of strikers who try to take me down, plenty of grapplers who try to take me down, and they all say, not all of them. Some of them say things like, well, I'm gonna stand and bang with him. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Or they'll be like, I'm going to, do this and that. And it's like, all right, that's cool. But then the fight happens and 2-3 minutes in, I'm up against the cage fighting a takedown, So I'm not naive enough to believe that anybody's going to just try to stay on me. I'm sure he's going to try to take me down at some point.
What do you make of him, two things in this fight? He's 37 years old. He's coming off an injury, a pretty bad one that took him out of the fight with Danny Henry. So he actually hasn't fought since February of last year. Do you think those factors will impact him in this fight? Because, it's one thing for a young guy to have an injury and a layoff, but Jouban's getting up there in age.
Only thing that's gonna impact them should be me. Like it's
Right.
not gonna
Okay.
be
Yeah. Fair enough.
it's not gonna be anything like that. And the reason I say that is because like they say that the flesh is transient, the spirit is eternal. Like as long as he has the spirit to fight, then he's dangerous. It don't matter. It doesn't matter if the guy has like one arm, like one leg,
Right. Okay.
like it don't matter. If somebody has the spirit to fight, it doesn't matter what the injury they have. They are a dangerous person, and that's what people learn about me all the time. Like people watch my fights and then they'll be like, okay, I can beat that guy, and then they fought me like, yeah, I come to fight. So there's going to be a certain level of pressure, a certain level of intensity that you're going to have to prepare for. So I'm not worried about anything he had or had before in terms of an injury or anything like that because, I mean, as long as he's coming to fight, that's all that really matters.
Who have been some of your main training partners for this camp?
Oh, well, Justin had his fight, like last week, so I've been training with him a lot. My friend Tom, or at AKA Fabian, he had a fight also recently too, so I was training with him. There's guys there. Some of the guys at Kyotera have been helping me out. Dennis and some of the other guys there. And I don't want to leave anybody's name out, but like I've been training with like a bunch of people. Matt Baker, some guys from Glory. I've been training. This fight kind of popped up out of nowhere. After the last fight, I said that I wanted to fight really soon, and I actually wanted to fight on the national card. But then when I came back home, I realized like I wouldn't be able to. I got to care of my son and stuff like that. So I was like, I would be pushing it to try to fight that soon. So I've been training a lot of people. It kind of just like the last training camp just continued and then took a little turn to fit this opponent.
Who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
Justin, my friend Dennis, and AJ. The same guys cornered me in Prague.
Okay. And how do you see this fight playing out on April 13th?
First I'm gonna win, and after that, I would say, it's no secret to what I'm trying to do. Like I could play coy and be like, well, I'm coming to knock him out. Like, and it's not an insult to him. I said this before to you. It's not an insult to his skill or his abilities. It doesn't really matter to me. Like, I'm coming to win by KO. I've never had a fight and said, I hope I can win by decision. So this is what I'm coming for. From what I've seen though, I would say Israel Adesanya should be able to do pretty well in that fight. We're gonna see how he handles constant pressure. Because remember before Kevin Gastelum fought Uriah Hall, I think it was for the Ultimate Fighter finale or something, and he put a lot of pressure on him, and it was hard for him to kind of like get off some of his techniques, But I think Adesanya's footwork and boxing is gonna actually help him set up some of his kicks and some of his knees and techniques, So that should be pretty good for him.
What's next for you after this fight? I mean, Jouban, like I mentioned, a veteran, a decent name in the division. Do you feel like that's going to propel you into the rankings, or do you think you need a few more fights for that?
Yeah, I'm trying to get into the rankings. I mean, the whole point, I think I might have said in like some other post-fight interview, but I was trying to make up this point that I got into UFC to fight, right? And it sounds like cliche to say and almost obvious, it's like, obviously you got into this fight. But I've been really getting into this thing to be able to compete against the best guys in the world. I know that fighting the best guys in the world isn't just about whoever you can fight in the UFC, but fighting the top guys there. And that way I can make myself improve. Fighting this guy, Jouban, I'm going to improve off of it. Fighting Pedersoli, I improve. Fighting Zach Otto, I improve. And I improved a lot in a short period of time. It's been a month, and I've been getting better because these guys have been so good. And there's certain things I want to do. Everybody wants to be champion. I want to be champion also, of course. But I've been watching UFC, Pride FC, Strikeforce for years and years and years. There's certain guys that I've always wanted to fight. And it's nothing because like I don't like them like that. It's just that I want to fight these guys. So I want to get to the point to where I can fight anybody I want, And like I see this guy is good. I want to fight him, and that person is excited to fight me too. That's the point I want to get to. So I want to get into the rankings for that reason. So that way everybody will just be okay to fight me.
You didn't think we get out of here without plugging your Instagram, your video game Instagram, the Dragon Effect, which I always love following. I'm always checking out the games you're playing. So what is on deck right now? I saw a couple weeks ago you were playing, what was it, Shinobi on Sega Genesis, Shinobi 3, I think is it's called, or what?
Oh yeah,
game. Yeah.
Yeah, I was playing Shinobi, and I was actually going through the different series of that, and then Shadow Dancer, and it was going back and forth. I play like the retro games to kind of like fill in time in between other stuff, kind of just have like a nostalgic, like episode, and they come back and play some of the newer stuff. I just got Trails of Cold Steel, this RPG for PS4 that came out yesterday, and I'm playing Devil May Cry 5 right now. So it's a bunch of stuff that I'm kind of like going around and going through.
Well, I like it because I can see there's games that like I forgot about, and then I'll even go back and play them. Like actually, when I saw your update, I was like, oh yeah, I should go play Shinobi, and I forgot how good that game like holds up. Like there's a few that you just forget about that really still are good. And again, with the retro games, I'm sure you can relate as a father. It's good because you can get in like 20, 30 minutes, and it's not like impacting your whole night.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? Like those games, we didn't have memory cards. So they were made to be played and finished within like an hour, right? But the game was so hard that you kept dying over and over again, and you played for like 4, 5, 6 hours, you know? But the thing about it now is like, because of so much repetition, you can run through the whole game in 20 minutes. Yeah, and my son will see me do it, and then he wants to do it. And then, like, for example, Mega Man. Like, he'll see me playing Mega Man, and he loves Mega Man. Like, he loves Mega Man cartoons, the toys, everything. But then the game is a little too hard for him. You know, so I kind of have to, like, hold the controller and play for him and get past certain parts. You know, he's getting there. He's getting there. But I just love that whole dynamic of, you know, watching him see me do it and then him being excited to do it and then being like, oh, I got to practice it. You got to practice, bro.
Yeah, no, it's funny you say that because I think when I get my son, when he's old enough to start playing games, I'm going to start him off easy and get him on like Sonic the Hedgehog or something like that. He can actually, yeah, he can get something that he can play and it's relatively easy. And then we'll work our way up to Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, that's a good.
Because we know that game's impossible without save states. It's pretty crazy. So.
Well, the best thing is just having a teammate to play. Right now, my son's playing Castle Crashers with me, and I totally underestimated him. We went to our friend's house, and he wanted to play with us, and I was like, I don't know if you can play this game, and he played, and he was doing well. Now I was like, well, look at this now. All right, so now we're gonna go. Now I'm gonna take him. And we're gonna play Castle Crash for a little bit because it's kind of cartoony. And then as he gets older, I want to play like like Streets of Rage and Golden Axe and Final Fight. Like those are my games. I love those games when I was a kid, and I didn't have anybody to play with. So now I got him. You know?
You got a buddy. Yeah, that's perfect. Awesome, man. Well, Dwight, thanks as always for the time, man. Always great chatting with you. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you got any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours.
Oh, they all my friends and training partners at AKA, people that have been helping me at Kaitera and stuff like that too, my jiu-jitsu, and everybody, GFY. I actually been working with Corsair and Sega. They've been helping me with the video game stuff too. So I shout out to them too. And everybody, man. I always say this is something where I never expect anything from anybody, but so many people try to help me. So many people send me like great messages on Instagram and like congratulations, but also like like really helpful quotes and things like that. I really appreciate it, man. I appreciate all the love that people send because you don't have to. You don't have to come out of their day to come like wish me well. So I appreciate all that. Thanks, so grateful for it.